When I look back at the choices I made a year ago, I can't help but feel a heavy ache in my chest. My name is Emily Parker. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and this is the story of how I let pride and shallow thinking nearly destroy the best thing that ever happened to me. It all started on a crisp November evening. I had been dating Ryan Mitchell for nearly 3 years. Ryan and I met in college in Boulder. He was the quiet, determined type, always working 2 jobs to pay his way through school. I admired his work ethic, though I admit at times I wished he could spend more freely like some of our friends did. I grew up in a family where appearances mattered. My mother was always dressed in the latest fashion, my father drove luxury cars, and I was used to vacations that involved five-star resorts. Ryan's background was different. His parents were middle-class, hardworking people from Kansas. He was the first in his family to graduate college, and he had to fight for everything he achieved. Despite those differences, we connected deeply. He had a calmness about him that balanced my sometimes fiery personality. He was patient, kind, and endlessly supportive. But as much as I loved him, a part of me still struggled with expectations. What my family, my friends, and even strangers might think about our future together. That November evening, Ryan had planned something special. He told me to dress nicely and be ready by 6. He arrived at my apartment in a navy blue suit, looking more handsome than ever. He took me to a rooftop restaurant in downtown Denver, overlooking the city lights against the snow-dusted mountains. It was breathtaking. I should have seen it coming, but I was caught off guard when dessert arrived, and the waiter set down a small velvet box on the table. My heart raced as Ryan got down on one knee. "Emily Parker," he said, his voice steady but his eyes filled with emotion. "You're the love of my life. Will you marry me?" Gasps and applause came from the nearby tables. My hands shook as I opened the box. Inside was a diamond ring. At first glance, it sparkled under the lights, but my eyes immediately assessed its size. Compared to the massive rings I'd seen on Instagram, on my cousin's hands, and even on some of my friends, it looked small. My stomach twisted. My mother's words echoed in my mind. When a man proposes, the ring shows how much he values you. I didn't want to think that way, but the thought clung to me. I forced a smile, nodded yes, and Ryan slipped the ring on my finger. Everyone cheered, and we hugged. But inside, I was conflicted. That night, alone in my apartment, I stared at the ring. I Googled diamond prices, and based on what I saw, I guessed it couldn't have cost more than $1,500. My heart sank. My friends had rings worth $10,000 or more. What would people think when they saw mine? The next day, when Ryan called, I tried to hide my disappointment, but it eventually slipped out. "Ryan," I said slowly, "can I ask, how much did you spend on the ring?" There was a pause. "About $1,500, he admitted. "I saved for months. I wanted something simple but beautiful, just like you." Something inside me snapped. "$1,500? Ryan, that's cheap. Embarrassing, even. How could you think I want to wear something like this? Everyone's going to notice. Couldn't you have tried harder? Saved longer?" Silence. I could hear his breathing on the other end. Finally, he said softly, "I thought it was enough. I thought it was special because it came from my heart." "Well," I blurted without thinking, "maybe you should take it back." The phone went quiet for a long moment before he said, "If that's how you feel, Emily, I'll return it." Click. The line went dead. At first, I felt justified. I told myself I deserved better, that I shouldn't settle. But as the days passed, doubt crept in. Ryan didn't call. He didn't text. I kept staring at my bare finger, feeling an emptiness that grew heavier with each passing day. A week later, my best friend, Jessica, confronted me. "What happened with Ryan?" she asked. I told her everything. Instead of agreeing with me, she shook her head. "Emily, are you serious? You threw away a proposal because of a price tag? Do you know how hard Ryan works? Do you know how many guys out there wouldn't even bother saving that much? You need to think about what really matters." Her words stung, but they stuck with me. That weekend, I drove to Ryan's apartment. He opened the door, his expression guarded. The warmth in his eyes had dimmed. "Ryan, I'm sorry," I blurted out. "I wasn't thinking. I was shallow, and I hurt you. I don't care about the price of the ring. I care about you. Please, can we start over? He studied me quietly before answering. Emily, I loved you enough to give you everything I could. But when you called my best effort cheap, it broke something in me. I don't know if I can forget that. Tears welled in my eyes. Please, Ryan. I'll do anything to make this right. He sighed. I need time. If you love me, you'll give me that. Weeks turned into months. During that time, I did a lot of soul searching. I stopped comparing my life to Instagram feeds and started appreciating the real blessings around me. I thought about Ryan's sacrifices, his loyalty, the way he always showed up for me, even when I didn't deserve it. 3 months later, I got a text from him. Can we talk? We met at the same rooftop restaurant where he had proposed. This time, he didn't bring a ring. Instead, he brought honesty. Emily, he said, I still love you. But I need to know, do you love me for who I am, not for what I can buy? I grabbed his hands. Ryan, I was foolish. I let pride and pressure cloud my judgment. But I've learned my lesson. I love you for your heart, your kindness, and the way you make me feel safe. I don't care if you give me a ring from a vending machine. I just want you. His eyes softened, and for the first time in months, he smiled. Then let's try again, he said. This time, there was no box, no diamond, no audience. Just the two of us, holding hands under the stars. And that was more valuable than any ring could ever be. Over the next year, our relationship grew stronger. I learned to let go of shallow comparisons and focused on building a future with Ryan based on trust, respect, and love. Eventually, he did propose again, with a simple gold band. I said yes without hesitation, because in the end, it wasn't about the ring. It was about us. And I almost lost him because I forgot that.